can see the world from their classrooms and all its richness. We want to bring a world-class education to every student worldwide, and we want to inspire them to learn about their world. And through learning about the world, to care about the world. And through caring about the world, to make personal decisions about the world, to make the world a better place for all. Explore started in September 2001, and it quickly became the fastest growing classroom magazine in the United States. And students have flocked to it ever since. Currently, about 7 million students read the magazine in the United States every single month. And that number keeps growing. Some years we grow by 40 to 50%. And we take our mission in the classroom very, very seriously. We want students to care and to turn that caring into personal action. And we find that the partnership with the World Marketing Group is a vital component for achieving this mission. And it is an honor for us to have Singapore as a pilot for our first worldwide expansion outside of the United States. We are very excited about being here. I have spent the better part of this week in some of the schools here in Singapore, and I have to say that I cannot be more inspired by what I saw. The commitment of the educators, the students, and the eagerness with which they embrace learning was truly inspiring. And I want to bring back pictures of their faces to show students in the United States, because I think they too would be inspired by what I have seen here this week. And Explore tries to inspire students through very high interest, engaging stories. We want to really grab a student's attention. We want them to say, wow, when they see the magazine. As a matter of fact, with each issue, I sort of have a little internal fight over it. I want them to savor each picture. I want them to spend a lot of time just looking at the cover. At the same time, I want them to rip it open and begin to page through it, looking at every photo and savoring every word. The editorial team is comprised of educators. We've all been classroom teachers. We know what it's like to be a classroom teacher. I taught middle school science, 6th through 8th grade science in the United States for several years. Others have expertise in literacy, language arts development, and others are social studies professionals. So we come from very different curriculum backgrounds, but we all share the passion bringing the world to the world's students. Each issue of Explorer magazine contains at least one animal story. That animal story we use to connect students to habitats and to environments, and to get them to care about the environment and see the connections between one individual species of animal and themselves. That species of animal may be in a remote land, but they share a connection, they share a world. And we all need to learn to care about the smallest to the largest animals and see those connections that we have with them. In addition to these life science stories, we also have another science story, either an earth or a physical story. And then in many issues, there's also a social studies story that we have. One of the things that we're going to start this year is a brand new initiative. After many months of talking to people both at National Geographic and with teachers, both in the United States and elsewhere, we're going to start the Student Fund for a Greener World, where we're going to give students a chance to take action through bake sales and other means to donate money to help conserve animals worldwide. And that will be a very important project at National Geographic for us all. So why is Explore so popular with children? It's a question we ask all the time, and we are always out there talking to teachers, talking to students. I think one reason is because we are engaging. We use a lot of good language. The magazine is written by researchers, explorers, as well as professional writers who really know how to write for children. And writing for children, particularly in a school setting, is a very specialized skill. So our engaging stories and photography, we're always respectful of students. We don't talk down to kids, we talk at their level. We treat them with respect, and we treat educators with respect as well. We realize that you have a lot to do in the course of the day, so we want to make sure that we give educators all the tools they need to teach the magazine. The colorful photographs are unparalleled. Many of them that you see in the magazine actually have won awards. And one of the things that we try to do is always see the world in an unusual way. We've already seen the usual. We want to find the unusual. So in the magazine, we try to find unusual events, unusual animals, but we also try to talk about the usual, but find the unusual connection so that we can see it through new eyes. We want students to look out their windows and see the world in a unique way. And we would like Explorer to help prepare them to do that. Because those who look out the window and see something new, something fresh, those are the people who are going to be the leaders of tomorrow. Those are the people who are going to make the changes tomorrow. Green issues, after decades, as Professor Kahn has told us, have finally become some of the most important issues of our lifetimes. And I do believe that green issues are the #1 news story of our time. As you heard in the video about National Geographic, the decisions we make today aren't going to just affect us during our lifetimes. They're going to shape the next 1,000 years, and maybe longer. So, being able to bring all our knowledge together to make the right decisions are very important. And also realizing that the decisions we make today in our homes, in our cars, at schools, in our businesses, are not confined to the walls of the place we make them. Those decisions are global in nature. They are worldwide. The decision we make, how long we leave the tap water on, affect people in faraway lands, as well as ourselves. And I think that people are beginning to realize that. There is a global consciousness of green issues that is spreading across the world. Everywhere you go, in every country, people are now talking about green issues. This is, because people realize this is our future. And our children are really going to be the ones that have to fix the problems that exist today. Problems not created by us necessarily, but left to us, expanded on by us. They will be solved by future generations. And in order to give them the ability to solve those problems and not just continue those problems, we have to educate them about that today. They have to embrace it at a very young age. If they do so, they will truly be able to make a difference. In the United States, it's often said that my grandparents' generation was the greatest generation of all. And I don't believe that. I believe that the kids today are the greatest generation. They are the ones who are going to make a difference. And I think it's awfully depressing if you think about the past as being the greatest and everything is downhill ever since. But it's our children who are going to make a huge difference in the world. And by educating them, we'll get them the care, and then they will be able to make thoughtful decisions to make the solutions that need to be made as adults. Well, here in Singapore, National Geographic Explorer has been sort of quietly going into schools for the last couple of months. And already about 15,000 students are reading National Geographic Explorer each month. And we are very excited about that. NTUC was the first campus, Zhangde Primary, St. Hilda's Primary, Bukit Panjang Primary, Singapore Korean School implemented the program school-wide, and 30 other schools have already ordered it. And we are just amazed at how well students have embraced it. And seeing students as we handed out the magazine this past week at a couple of schools. And